You very much. I wasn't expecting to come on here now. I thought that you're going to have a break or something, but I'm ready to start if you want. Perhaps your viewers may want to have a few minutes of break.
Well, everybody's, hi, Gosia, hi, Gosia. I think everybody is ready to rock and roll. Everyone is excited to hear what you have to say.
Okay, just because I stepped in here for the last 10 minutes of the last speaker, and what she was saying was really amazing and everything that I believe as well. So I thought maybe people want to process that a little bit, that energy that speaker was. Sorry, I forgot the name. I don't know that lady. What's her name?
Her name is Carrie Kay. Yeah, okay. What we could do is we could all just take a breath for a moment and just kind of close our eyes, and let's just integrate everything that Carrie had to say. Just let that feed our cells and our minds. And just take another deep breath in and just anchor all of that energy into every cell and fiber of your being. Let anything that came up that needs to be released or let go of, just let that flow right out through the bottoms of your feet. Just let it go. And now take another deep breath in and breathe this in through your heart center this time, because we're going to make room for our new speaker. Bring that energy from the heart all the way up to the pineal and expanding that energy out, connecting the heart and the mind together. And now sink that energy into the body. Let's take one more deep breath in and maybe just hold it for a second or two. And exhale. And open our eyes. Great idea, Gosia. All right, so I am going to turn this right over to you.
Thank you. Just because what she was saying about the guides and about how we're always looking for those guides and calling for the guides, and such a trend to be talking to the guides and seek our guides and go to all these mediums and channelings. And I know this because in my very close circle, there is a person who is like always trying to find out what his guides or her guides have to say about his or her life and what to do next. And I'm so frustrated sometimes because, you are that person yourself. Who is the guide? The guide is the expanded version of yourself. So like Carrie was saying, you just have to let that in and let that guide, which is you, the expanded version of yourself, speak and show you where it wants you to be, because you and that guide is the same person, is the same being. So that's why actually it does complement what I will be speaking about, the subject of my talk, which is the starseeds. Topic of the starseeds, very, 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 very important, because most of us who are here in this room probably are starseeds. So I understand that it's very important for everybody. Now, I have to make a disclaimer here. Well, not a disclaimer, just a clarification. A lot of what I will be speaking about, a lot of my information here, will be actually based on what recently shared Maris Varu. Now, I'll explain who she is and who exactly I talked to. So yeah, I was just talking about the guides and how we should be seeking the guides and how we are it. And here I'm going to be, sharing the information given by someone else. This is a bit different here because the group I am speaking with and communicating with since 2017 are actually a group of physical extraterrestrial persons. They are people just like us. In some ways they differ, in some ways they are very similar, but that's for another topic. I'm not going to extend myself on how we met because I only have 1 hour and I have many points to go through on the topic of starseeds. But in summary, since 2017, we have been in touch with this group of Taygetan Pleiadians, very important, from Taygetan, who are here in the orbit of the Earth on a star on board starship that is called Toleka. And we started communicating with them directly in writing. We also had audio a few times. We also met one of them physically, another story. And since then, I say myself and Robert, who is sharing this information in a Spanish channel, we have been sharing all these chats that we have with them. It started as chats and just random conversations, and then it extended into so many different topics. So on my channel, Cosmic Agency, you can actually see all these different chats. I do not channel this information. It comes from them, word by word. Now, Maris Varu is a 15-year-old extraterrestrial person who is on board the same ship, Toleka, who just in December last year started sharing her own videos. Yes, her own videos, an extraterrestrial person making her own videos, writing her own texts, preparing the videos, and running her own channel without any human intervention. So a lot of the information I will be sharing here today is actually given by her. It's how she presents the topic of starseeds. And in her channel, which is called Zvaru Official, but with one F, because it's from Spanish, you can actually see in detail all this information. She publishes every single day in English and then in Spanish. So I'll be using that information as a base, injecting my own interpretation, my own information, and how I feel about this topic. And going through all these different points. So let's start from the beginning. Now, these are the topics I will be mentioning, okay? I'll just give you a summary of what I will be going through. First, I will explain who is a starseed, because there is a lot of talk, starseeds, but what is exactly a starseed? Then, how do they get in here? So how do they become humans? What's the entry procedure? Then how to know you are one, because many people always ask, how do I know I am a starseed? Perhaps I am, perhaps I am not. I have no way of knowing. Then we'll go through different challenges the starseeds face, because it is true, it's very hard for the starseeds, and they have to face a lot of these challenges here on Earth. So we will deal with that. Then we will also go through responsibility of the starseeds, because even though they have challenges, they do, tough, they have certain responsibility here. And I will go through that as well. You may not like, by the way, my attitude here with which I'll be speaking, because I'll be a bit tough on the starseed here. But let's see how it goes. I will try not to be so much. And then I will go through other purposes and mission. Everybody has that sense of mission. So what's the starseed's mission here? And if I have time, I will finish with the warning that some time ago, a month ago or so, Mari actually published, it was Naishara's theory. Naishara is another person, female, on the starship, about the starseeds and about the UFO official disclosure. So if I have time, I will go through that as well. So, starseeds. Who are the starseeds? What is that, the word starseed? Okay, well, all people, everybody is a starseed. Let's start there. Everybody is a starseed because everybody's soul, if they have one, if they have one, because they're also soulless people, another topic. Everybody's soul is part of the source. And that means that it has been everywhere. It's part of the fabric of the universe. It's been everywhere. So we are all starseeds. We are all essence of the universe. However, now what do we refer to here when we hear the word starseeds? So here, what is referred to, and again, I just have to clarify, I base a lot of this on Mari's information. A starseed is a soul that evolved elsewhere outside of Earth many times before coming to Earth. So it was born and it had many incarnations outside of Earth, doesn't matter what planet and what star family, and then it decided to come to Earth. So it's a fresher sort of a incarnation, fresher person on Earth. While humans, something that we call humans here versus starseeds, have been here many times, cycle after cycle. And what differentiates them from starseeds is that they had the time to adapt to the Earth's ways and to the Earth's system. So they don't have such a problem with it. They are very adapted already. They don't have the same yearnings and the same desires and feelings and nostalgias and difficulties. It's the starseeds, the new souls, who have evolved outside Earth and have come here, maybe for the first incarnation or for the second, that have more challenges. And that's what would differentiate a starseed from a person who is here on Earth through many incarnations. However, like I said, we are all starseeds in the bigger picture from the more expanded point of view. Now, Mari also goes to the concept of wanderers. So she differentiates starseeds and wanderer starseeds, which means it would be a soul that likes to jump from one race to another. So you have not just been a Pleiadian in your past incarnation, but then maybe you were Arcturian or you tried something different. So you are a wandering soul, you are a wandering starseed. And then other type of starseeds are the souls that grow a very strong attachment to one place, to one star group, because they feel comfortable there. They incarnated there for many times, and that's what they like. That's where they like to be. The soul, by the way, has no specific star race classification. It just is. It's a holographic part of the source itself. It has no gender either, the soul in its core. However, the souls do have preferences and tendencies and likes. So if we, for example, say, I am a Arcturian starseed, then it means that you have an attachment to that specific race, that your soul was there for many incarnations. It doesn't mean that it defines all of you. Because, for example, I don't like to call myself a Taygetan starseed, even though in a way, from one point of view, I am, but I also feel I am more than that. I am everything. I don't know how many incarnations I had in Taygeta, but I feel I was other things as well. So my point is, starseeds do not have just one specific classification, but they do like to belong sometimes to a certain race. So I think that point is quite clear. Now, the next point, how do they get in here? Now, this is a very complex technically subject. It could be for another video, because there are several ways to come in here to be a human. One way is easier to explain, and that's simply that you are coming from source itself. So you, as an extraterrestrial person, you die, and then in the afterlife, you decide to incarnate here on Earth for different reasons, and there are multiple reasons, and then you come here and you become a human. But then, and that's where I could make a separate video just on that, there is a technological way to get in here, and they refer to it as the immersion program. So this is a type of technology that makes them, when they want to become a human, but they do not want to get too wrapped up in the cycles of Earth as a human, and they want to guarantee their return back, then they use this immersion program, which means they basically go into this hibernation capsule, and then they go to sleep. It's full of liquid. You basically have to go inside that liquid. Feels like you are drowning. They told us it's a horrible feeling, but then you start to breathe that liquid, and it's okay. And then your consciousness is diverted to the avatar that you previously chose on Earth. And this could be a person here on Earth with whom you have some sort of agreement on a soul level. So you walk in that person, and that person's soul goes out. So it's a sort of a walk-in experience. And this ties in with the next topic, next seminar, walkings. So I'll explain that as well later. So here you are a walking person, walking as through the immersion program. It could be at birth. It could be at any point in your life as well. For example, they told me that I walked in not that long ago through the immersion program. I have absolutely no memory of that, but that's what I was told. So now you can walk into the person on Earth who was a real person with a soul. That soul walked out, you walk in, walking. Or you can also walk in through the immersion program into the organic portal, a matrix person, a soulless person, a program. There was nothing before. You kind of occupy that being. This is also another topic, but this is how also negative astral entities use entry points to Earth. They occupy these organic portals, like they are real demons in humans. Anyway, another topic. Every one of these topics, it could be a separate chat. It's just amazing how much information is in my head from them, mostly from them. So now I'm not going to go into the specifics of the technical immersion program procedure, but in our channel, we have very detailed technical video explained the whole process, how it's done, the brain signals, everything. I don't even remember half of that because it was so complex. It was given I don't know, 3 years ago or so. This is one of the most actually common ways for the extraterrestrials to come in to be a human, because this is a very safe way for them. They cannot get lost. In a way they could, but there's like less probability of getting lost in the matrix, because matrix is it's not a prison. I will go into that as well. But it can be very absorbing. So when you die here, when you are in the immersion program, you wake up in your immersion pod and you continue your life there as the extraterrestrial person, having a full memory of what you just went through. So this is how they get in, starseeds, naturally through the source, different types of walkings, or technologically. Okay, now many people are asking, how do I know I am a starseed? How do I know this? Well, there's no specific way to differentiate if someone is a starseed or not. I'm talking about a really scientific way. I'm sorry, I have a dog here barking. Not with our level of technology. They have the way to know who is a starseed and who is not with their technologies. But if you are here, if you're a human and you are wondering, well, many of you are always sometimes looking into space or feeling that you do not belong here. You have this deep feeling, like you are yearning some kind of a true home that is not here. Many times you are criticized by others for what you feel, because it just feels like you are not in touch with reality. You are losing touch with reality. So you are very alone in that feeling. You are alone in your interests. Everything here feels very dense. You feel overwhelmed by the earth, by its system. You don't fit in anywhere. really, that's the feeling. That's the feeling. That's the feeling. Trust that feeling. If you know you do not belong here and this is not your world, then it is not. That's basically what they told us. Like the previous lady said, trust your own inner knowing. If you know you are an extraterrestrial person, then you are. Only you can know your true identity. And it doesn't matter if the memory is not there. The memory is not there. I'll talk about this in the next point. However, that memory loss is only at a very superficial level. So you may not remember the details, this and that, but on a deeper level, at the core, that memory is there, and it emits itself to your conscious level through the feeling of not belonging, of wanting something else, wanting a different type of system, different type of living. You remember that on a very intuitive level. Like, for example, in my case, when I was growing up, I remember my parents were both going to work every day the same, the system, they're coming back at 5, they were both teachers. And I remember I was like a teenager or something. And then it just makes no sense to me. Like it was incomprehensible to me how they can do that. I don't understand. How can you just go to work and then come back? The whole cycle of making money and all that made no sense to me. And then having no time for anything. Where is that feeling coming from? Other people who have been adapted to life here, they see this as a very normal way of life here, but you don't, because you have a memory. This is not some kind of a fantasy or you going crazy or being lazy. You don't want to work because you're lazy. No, you're not lazy. You have a deep inner memory on a subconscious intuitive level that this is not how things are. That this is not where you are. This is not how things are where you are from. That's why you are so baffled at the system here. So trust that feeling. If you think and feel you don't belong here, it's because you don't. There's nothing wrong with you. You are just not from this world. And that's okay. And that's awesome, as we will see very, very soon. Okay, now, many challenges. There are many challenges for the starseeds here on Earth. And Maris Varu has many videos on this topic. She goes through one challenge, one video. I will just cover it all in summary. For example, many starseeds are very frustrated because they don't have a memory. Okay, so we passed to the point. We know we are starseeds. We feel we don't belong. Fine. Now, I want to know more. Where am I from? Where's my star family? Well, it is said, and it is true, that maybe it sounds cliche, but it is true that in order to be truly human here and to understand this experience, in order to gain from it, and there is a lot to gain from it, you must not remember. If you remember, it totally changes the game. It's not the same. You must not have the memory of who you are out there. You must experience this life as a human. That's what you wanted yourself, to experience this as a human. Another example, personal example to illustrate this. I always wanted to be on some kind of a survivor show. I actually applied even once. I made a phone call, casting. I was rejected. I was never even considered, but whatever. It was like a great adventure to me. But then I was thinking, hey, if I know I am on a survivor show, this is not going to be real. I'm going to be like under the tree thinking, it's going to be cold. Then there are going to be cameras everywhere. It's not going to be the same. I would like to be on a survivor show, like not know that I'm on a survivor show for a month and see how I take it. See how I take this challenge. See what qualities I can actually experience in myself, what qualities I'm made of. I don't even know myself in that kind of situation. I want to know, like, what kind of a person would I be? Would I be a leader? Would I be a follower? Would I be a whiner? Would I be courageous? Would I be afraid? I don't know. If there are cameras around me, I would not know that. It's going to be fake. I will know that. So I would love to not remember. So that's why it's important not to remember for that reason. However, the simpler explanation of why we are not remembering here is actually, and they told us this, a simple fact of frequency incompatibility. It is the same as happens in dreams. In dreams, You go to the very high astral realm somewhere, and then you are back here. There's a frequency mismatch, and you do not remember. There's a misalignment here of frequencies, and that doesn't allow you to remember. There's no specific memory wipe when you come here. They told us this as well. They don't see anything like that. There's no technology that wipes memories. It is simply that frequency mismatch when you come here. The same as happens in dreams. Like I said, but that is superficial. On a deeper level, you know that you belong somewhere else. That feeling of needing to go back is stronger than in other people who have been for a long time. And that's the indication that you are a starseed. Now, if you don't have any of these feelings, that's okay too. You may still be a starseed who maybe perhaps adapted itself here and maybe lived, 10 incarnations here. But before those 10 incarnations, maybe you were somewhere out there as well. So it applies to you as well, to everybody. So now, because you have that feeling of not belonging and knowing that you are not from here, this causes many problems to the starseed with the family, beginning with the family, and then larger social structure. They feel like something is very wrong with them, especially the young ones. They are still trying to find themselves. And this is a very delicate, sensitive phase of the starseed awakening, because they will either try to adapt. They will try to adapt to the matrix. They will feel like they go crazy, and there is a danger that could be consumed by the matrix. Consumed by the matrix. Yes, it happens. Maybe it's a separate point here. You could be consumed by the matrix if you don't stick to your frequency, to what you hold as yourself, to your ethics and values. Then you may be consumed by the matrix. So first is to accept that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You just do not belong here because you're not from here. That's fine. That's okay. So at this point, if you realize and accept that you are not from here and you cannot adapt to the system, well, the next problem here is that you may have to face living double life. So you feel like you are living a double life here a little bit. I do feel like I'm living double life. I'm perfectly open and explaining all this here to you and to people online, but in a real life out there, I am in disguise, totally. And most of us do that. But the important thing is that if you keep loyal to your values, to what you know yourself to be inside, you will attract like-minded people, like-minded groups, okay? So it will help you along the way. Now, oh my God, the time is going so fast. I have to go fast through my points, okay? So if you see me talking fast, it's because of that. Now, another very important challenge the starseed here face is frequency incompatibility. And that is because you lived in another civilization before. You have that inner innate knowing of different ethics, different values, different type of spirituality. Everything is much more harmonious there. So you naturally bring that frequency, you hold the vibration of that place, which is higher normally than what's on Earth. So coming to Earth with that vibration that your soul holds, memory or not, or no memory, you still hold that, you still carry your core. There is a frequency mismatch. And that's what causes that feeling of not fitting and being very uncomfortable here on Earth. So most starseeds have this need of creating their own bubble, somewhere where they feel fully themselves. And now, the problem with this frequency mismatch is that when you introduce an energy, high energy into the field, and we are all in the field, we are all connected through that field, in that field, whatever is of a lower energy, and Mari explains this in terms of thermodynamics and physics, energy flow dynamics, is that of the lower energy will try to absorb what is containing the higher energy and will distribute that essence into itself. And so that's why many starseeds end up feeling very drained when they are in a group of people where they feel that they do not belong. So everybody is connected through the telepathic field, collective unconscious. And when a starseed is in a group of people with lower vibration, its energy will flow to that group. That group, consciously or unconsciously, will desire that energy. They will want that. Whatever you hold, they will want that. And that's why many times starseeds end up very tired here. A very common disease of being tired constantly, although there are many reasons for that. So that's why it's super important to recharge and protect your energy. Learn to protect your energy and to recharge, because this frequency mismatch can be very dangerous sometimes. It makes people, starseeds, anxious, depressed, sick sometimes. They actually call this extraterrestrial syndrome, or ET sickness, meaning when they themselves come down here for a prolonged periods of time, they experience this as well. So healthy personal boundaries are very important. That's what I do. And that's sometimes people, I feel they don't understand why I keep to myself, or why I don't share much of myself publicly, but it's because of this. I try to keep that personal boundary. Try not to be a people's pleaser. It's very important. You have to protect your resources and guard your frequency, because it's very high, it's very strong, and whatever is, like I explained, of the lower vibration will try to consume that unconsciously. It's not like they are leeching on you consciously. It happens on an intuitive and unconscious level. So guard your frequency and watch your personal boundaries, especially when you are in a group of people or situation with a lower vibration than yours. And here, talking about lower vibrations, Mari also goes into the low vibrational places and situations, because it's not just people that could be dangerous to your energy, but also places and situations. So she's talking about, for example, banks, government places, places of worship. All this is control centers. It's some sort of a matrix setup control center, and it's designed and set up to drain people's energy, physically, economically, and energetically. It's there for that reason. Even some kind of ugly residential areas. This happened to me just recently. We were living in an area, a lot of buildings and cement and tall buildings, and it was very nice. Like, it was designed like perfect. There was bench in every corner and a little stream and trees. Like, aesthetically, it was nice. But energetically, I feel there was something very, very, very wrong with that place. And they told me to trust that feeling. If you know something is wrong, something is wrong, because you don't know what that nice place aesthetically could be built on, and what kind of a portal could be nearby to be draining the energy of the people living there. So be very careful of those places. Many temples, she explained, and churches are built on energy vortex points, and they are specifically designed to channel energy somewhere else, like, for example, to the lower astral. Many of these places have entrances to the underworld, artificial channels, and to natural entries to all kinds of strange underground civilizations. So that's about churches and temples. And then she also warns us about any type of place that holds the vibration of anxiety and suffering. So, for example, hospitals, also psychiatric hospitals, especially, prisons, cemeteries, also nightclubs with a lot of alcohol. These are all places that could be potentially draining for the starseeds if you do not hold a strong frequency. Now, they're not going to do anything to you, those places, if you naturally are very strong and you know they cannot harm you, because in the end, nothing can really harm you. I'm just talking about those situations where you feel a bit low or weak. These are potential places that can drain you, that can take advantage of that low state of mind. So pay attention to all this. Never fear any of these places. Never fear anything at all. But just be aware that this is what's happening. Okay, now, time is going too fast. Okay, the next issue that the starseeds face is the money issue. And I'll explain here the trap, the new age trap for the starseeds. And it's also very important. So as I explained, the starseeds feel they cannot fit into any structure on Earth. So they're going to naturally refuse holding normal jobs. This is just not normal for them. What for other people is natural, it makes them sick, like they are being just drained of energy. They're dying there. I remember when I was in a previous relationship that was in Spain, and my ex-boyfriend worked in a factory. He was a very good man, but a matrix person, worked in a factory. And I was looking for some kind of occupation at that time. This was long before I had this experience. And I remember he told me, why don't you just get a job in a factory like normal people? And he looked at me like I was some kind of a princess. I feel myself above the ordinary people. Like I'm not touching that kind of a job. It's not this. We are not afraid to work if it's something that really is ours. I am working a lot on these videos, for example, doing this job because it's something that I love. And this is what we remember from our lives in other planets. They don't have economy. They don't work. They do what they love and what they feel they can contribute to the society. So it's not that you are afraid of lazy, not wanting to do something with your life. It's just that you cannot sustain that kind of a position in which you are a slave to someone else working from 9 to 5, obligated to be there at specific time frames. So what the starseeds do, now I'll explain the new age trap. What the starseeds do, they look for alternatives. So they try to find their talents, and they're starseeds, so it's something spiritual, healing, artistic. Not only, by the way, the crew there, they are very mechanical, engineering, doctors, soldiers. It's not just into healing and spirituality. That's another myth also, of course. However, here on Earth, that's where a lot of starseeds find their talents. But here where the new age infiltration comes in. So, and I have videos about this. The new age has been heavily infiltrated by the thriller agencies, and official spiritual cycles and circles have been infiltrated as well. And one of their ways and one of their infiltration methods, with the purpose to neutralize starseeds and their influence, and taking advantage of their innate mentality of living in money-free societies where everything is offered free, they impose this idea that you need to give everything for free if it's something of a spiritual, nature. So if you want to contribute with spirituality, healing, something artistic, whatever, it must be free. It must be free. This is something they imposed and seeded the new age circles with, so that the starseeds cannot fulfill who they are and will be forced to get a normal job. If you get a normal job, you will not have time or energy to fulfill who you are, who you came here to be, and offer your natural gifts. Matrix cannot allow being a starseed to be a job. It has to be offered free. Otherwise, it's not real. If someone is charging, it has to be false. It has to be. I'm not saying there are not a lot of people who take advantage of this, and they do a lot of things just for the money. Okay, but those aside, there are true, authentic spiritual people who want to contribute, and they have the right to charge for what they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to do what they do. Otherwise, they will have to go back to their normal job, and this is how they get neutralized and eliminated, thrown back into the matrix. The matrix cannot allow them to contribute with their talents. They have to offer it for free. If they offer it for free, then they have to find a normal job. It's so easy to understand for me, this. So another way, and another reason why they did this, why they imposed this idea that everything must be given free if it's of spiritual nature, is to monopolize this area to themselves. So everything coming from the alternatives is just diminished into the secondary position. No healing alternatives are allowed. It's just our medicine that is correct. It's just our truths are correct. So this is their way to monopolize this whole area. So this is the money issue. So value yourself and do not feel guilty. Do not feel guilty. You are not in Taygetan. I know you are remembering this from other civilizations. This is how you lived, money-free, no economy. But this is not Taygetan. This is not Pleiades. This is not Arcturian planet. This is Earth. And here, this is how it works. And money is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with the money. It's how it is used. It's the energy. It's exchange. So value yourself. And if you truly believe you have a talent, something to give, do not let the matrix consume you, throw you back into itself, having to find another job somewhere. Now, a small break to process. Okay, so now I'm almost half through, but the time is going. Okay. Now, an important and a very interesting point that Mari mentioned here is about different meaning that is given to the situations from our side, physical side, and the soul side. And I'll explain this, and it's very, very interesting. Okay, so the physical, emotional pain cannot be denied here. It's a true experience. However, remember, in the end, everything is the interpretations and points of view. And Mari made the video, different meanings, different events, different meanings, which means the value given to the event, even if it is perceived negative and dramatic from our side, changes from the spirit side. So something that can be viewed as dramatic and very disturbing, it doesn't hold the same emotional value or interpretation from the spirit side. When we are in a spirit side, and she says that she remembers this, that's why she knows. It's not some kind of an intellectual idea. She actually remembers this because she remembers dying, and she remembers the thoughts she had there and what she felt when she was in the afterlife on the other side. And she said that it's not just her, but it's actually a basic common knowledge among stellar races, that's how it is. So when we're in a spirit side, we see the whole incarnation we just had with the all good and bad events as just this one whole awesome experience, some kind of amazing things we just went through. And many of us want to repeat it one time after another. Even though you feel you don't want to repeat it when here, you go on the other side and you may actually change your interpretation. Souls, when they are on the other side, simply do not take this life as seriously. They don't. So anything that seems so dramatic here for us, like it's the end of our life situation, they don't take it that seriously. They take it in a different light. So don't be so hard on yourself, even when something negative happens. This life, it's just short, intense, very enriching, and one of many, one of many, many. So this is just an interesting point that I wanted to share. More about this topic on Mari's channel, okay? She made a whole video about this, how the souls view the experiences here. Now, let's go to the topic of responsibilities. This is one of the key parts of this presentation, okay? The responsibilities that the starseeds have when they are here. Yes, they are self-imposed. No one is really there holding a gun to your head and, or making you do certain things. There is no judgment. There are self-responsibilities. Still, they are certain responsibilities. Now, one of the common ideas is that the starseed's job and mission is just to be here, right? That's what many people say. Just your presence is enough, and it is your mission. You don't need to look for more. Now, as cliche as it sounds, and as frustrating as it sounds to many starseeds, because they all want more than just to be here, that actually is true. And I'll explain why. And actually here I have a sentence that I wrote down from Mari. And this is what she explains in one of her videos about telepathic fields. We are all immersed in this one telepathic energetic field, and we are all connected through it. And listen to this. This is very important, okay? A group of people, large or small, produces a cognitive energy field that affects everyone within it and very effectively synchronizes all their thoughts, values, and even their emotions. Whatever your collective thoughts are transmitting to the field, they are interpreted as thoughts, emotions, and emotional reactions by the group members who consent and unconsciously take them for granted as reality. So we are in this telepathic field where we are all projecting our thoughts, reactions, emotional interpretations, and other members of the group, which is here the human collective, are interpreting this as theirs many times, and vice versa. We are also affected by what's in the field many times. We are even affected by what the neighbor is feeling. So that's why it's very important to guard your thoughts and emotions, especially as a starseed, because your power here is 1,000 more than normal human being, which I'll explain a little bit later too. That's why it's so important to guard what you are thinking and feeling, because all this goes into this human collective telepathic energy field, and they are receiving it. Whatever you are feeling, they are receiving it. That's why our presence, just to be here, is important, because with our values and our ethics, we inject and see that telepathic energy field with that, and they will receive it. They will feel it as theirs. And that's how it will transform them. That's how it will transform them. Now, this is what Mari said here. Things on Earth must change simply because there are so many of us, starseeds, step downs. Step downs, they are real full extraterrestrials coming from the ship, walking Earth. Full extraterrestrials influencing Earth. Light workers and people with similar mentalities, and more enter Earth as we speak. Things cannot be anything else but change for the better simply because of the principle of the dominant frequency. Remember it, the strongest frequency and vibration in a field will tend to make all the other frequencies more of itself, more of the same. And that's why our presence, this cliche statement, our presence, but not just our presence, also what we project with our presence, our feelings and emotions, is so important to the human collective field, because we are transforming that dominant frequency of the humanity. And this is how we are helping them from within, from inside. No external interventions coming from weapons and the ships and taking the cabal out. No, because the humanity's collective field will still be what it is, and it will continue manifesting and creating what it is. So the key here is to transform that telepathic field through which we are all connected. This is our job, and this is our responsibility. You are the antenna. You are like the ambassador of those higher realms to seed the human collective with all that is fair, all that is noble, all that is ethical, your values, your spirituality, and humanity will pick it up because they are connected to us through that field. They will feel it. So you, as that reality altering agent of higher realms, because that's what you are, this is your responsibility. That's why you cannot fall. Your influence is that of 1,000 people. And this was actually studied by them on board last year. There was a scientific project going on the starship, and they were measuring the effects of starseeds on the magnetosphere, on energy fields. And I'm going to read this sentence here that one of the scientists, Alahi, said. It's also in one of the videos. Starseeds are not equivalent in frequency to the population average. From observation, I can see with sensors, spectrometers, and interferometers that starseeds have the magnetic strength and influence on the total frequency of the place of many normal people, sometimes equivalent to several 100,000 average people for a single starseed. Being that, in a scientifically measurable way, the enormous creative responsibility of each starseed can be proven. We don't need to change all the humans, just unite and empower the starseeds. That's what he said. Now, there is a fight for human minds and souls. So, of course, you will encounter resistance. It's only logical. You will always have resistance each step of the way from the matrix. Maybe not always, but you will have resistance. It's logical. However, if you choose suffering, if you choose giving to that state, depression, one, you are only making your own stay on Earth worse, so you are making it worse for yourself. And two, you are cementing that frequency in the human collective telepathic field with the power you have. You cannot do that. So this is a responsibility. You need to accept the discomfort. Yes, it's uncomfortable to live on Earth, but you knew this. Accept the discomfort. Make the discomfort your ally to grow through. Your challenge, adventure, and operation. But do not fall into that as a permanent state. Now, we all have difficulties and difficult times, okay? If you feel weak, because now I don't want you to fall into the guilt because you feel weak and feel like you cannot do what I say. Be strong. First of all, you are strong. Second of all, if you feel weak at times, it's okay too, but just do not dwell on that. Do not dwell on that. Do everything possible to get yourself out of that state because, and that's another topic, bongo. If you dwell on that state too long, in that lower emotional state, that's how you become a match to astral attachments and infestations. And Mari just made a lot of videos on this topic. So that's another pitfall here, danger, a trap. If you allow yourself to stay in that, so miserable state of mind, you become a match to astral attachments and infestations. Okay, so learn, again, I said that before, learn to protect your energy. Learn to protect your energy. Learn to use matrix and navigate through the matrix to your advantage. And don't let the matrix use you. Bongi, maybe you can shut the door because there's a dog barking. So use matrix and navigate to your advantage. Do not let it use you. I always say this, keep your frequency and don't let hell take it away. Some might say, yeah, we are here in a very difficult situation. Yes, but don't let that take away your frequency. It's you who is meant to transform this reality and not the other way around. Not the other way around. You are meant to transform this reality. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't hard. That's why you are here, because it is hard. You were called upon by yourself to be here because this is a difficult place to be, and that's why your presence is needed. So trust that. This is where I'm going to share my personal frustration here. This is mine. I get very frustrated sometimes when I hear many starseeds whining about their life here, wanting to return. I don't want to be here on Earth anymore. What a mistake. Oh my God, wipe your boogers. Seriously? Like I said, keep your frequency and don't let hell take it away. You knew what this would be. You trusted yourself. This is not a prison planet. You are not held here against your will. Earth is not supposed to be fair. It's not. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. This is our job to do. It's our job to bring and inspire fairness and justice in this place, not cry about it. It's like a soldier goes to some kind of a situation, and instead of executing the task, is crying about, it's raining or there's mud. It's going to be muddy. Don't cry about the mud, okay? So saying that it's a mistake coming here is basically, I feel like it's bailing on your own soul. You are second guessing its decision, your own decision. It was your decision to come here. You knew yourself to be strong enough. You trusted yourself. So wipe your noses and keep going. Seriously, this place is not that bad. You can make it heaven or hell, however you make it. And a lot of things here are up to you and out of your interpretation. And that's why I said in the beginning, I will say something maybe that people don't like, but because sometimes I'm very tired when I see these comments, I'm so tired of being here on Earth and this and that, and I want to go return. Oh, boo-hoo, tough. Now, I understand. I'm not saying I don't understand that it's demanding to be starseed. It's very demanding to be starseed because of all the different reasons I went through and many more personal reasons everybody will have. And here Allah, he said, it's demanding to be a starseed, the more so knowing that if you fall in frequency in the logical spiral of negativity, your circle of influence will as well. So this is here another, the starseeds who feel weak and who feel tired may feel guilty as a result of what I'm saying, because with their range of influence falling, their task is falling. Well, it is tough. It is, yes. The more miserable you feel and the less of a higher frequency you can emit into the field, the lesser your influence. Which is okay as well, in a way, if you want to view it that way. In a way, like I said, there is no judge here. There is no higher judgment, only yourself. However, I feel like from above, like from a very, very expanded point of view, we are all one entity. We are just one being. And I feel like if some cells of that entity, of that body are failing, it kind of affects the whole purpose of that being. So be as strong as you can be. Plus, souls know that this life is very short. There's nothing really in the world that can truly harm you. Nothing. So use this time that you are here on Earth. Don't complain about it. You'll be out of here very, 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 very soon. Use this time. Learn, observe things, have fun, help, create. Like I said, it's up to you whether you make it a heaven or a hell. And yes, you are sensitive to all kinds of stuff and energies going on Earth, but that is your strength. This is your compass to know what's wrong with this place. So you're affected negatively and being sensitive to this and that. That's good, because this means this is your compass to know what needs to be changed. What is wrong with this place? Earth is one of the most difficult places to incarnate. They told us this. They confirmed this. And your mission here is just to be you. Do not lose yourself here, despite difficulties. I have how much time? Okay, I can still go through some points.
Right. You can go over some points, and then we have some questions for you. And the next speaker doesn't start until 1.
Okay. Now, I said that your mission is to be you. That's correct. But now let's go through a little through other points, other missions and purposes to be here. Because this is something that many starseeds feel they need to know their mission. Well, there are all kinds of individual paths and missions to fulfill here, tasks. If it's not just to be here, that's the number one, to be here and inject that collective field with your presence. But then there are some individual ones, and that only you will know that. Okay, no one can tell you. You need to investigate this by yourself. Now, speaking more generally, they told us that one of the very important objectives to be here is simply, and that sounds cliche too, but it's true, is to realize that we are the creators of our circumstances. And not only that, how to manage our frequency faced with those different circumstances. And I feel that's even more important too, because sometimes on the conscious level, we are not aware that we are creating the circumstance. But now on the conscious level, we have the choice to know how to manage the frequency faced with this or that circumstance. And this is very important. And this place provides you with all these different circumstances. You cannot have those circumstances so full of contrast and difficulties with which to train yourself to manage your frequency, manage your thoughts, control over your emotions. They told us that the reason many souls continue to reincarnate over and over again here is because they feel they have not yet mastered the knowing how to give the correct value to each one of their life experiences. So that's interesting. This field here on Earth is for both young souls to come and train, and also for the advanced ones. For the young starseeds, young souls is to come and define their boundaries. They self-define themselves through the contrasts. That's how the souls grow, by the way. They need to have all these experiences to define themselves. But now, many starseeds come here also who are very advanced, because this is where they practice and master manipulation of the energy field, manifestation, how to basically manifest virtually out of nothing. You come here and you have so limited resources, and you have to overcome that and master it and manifest things for the great sense of accomplishment and power it gives at the end. That's what the souls many times seek, to overcome these challenges. And they told us that many souls even get addicted to that feeling of self-accomplishment and empowerment that they receive here. So we come here to manage our thought, emotions, frequency, and harder it gets, better training ground. That's why many souls use this as a training ground, because it's so challenging. You need to know how to rise above despite difficulties. It's kind of like in my example about wanting to be on the Survivor show with no memory, with nothing, survive. Go there and survive. I would love that. And I did that. I am here. See, this is the ultimate Survivor show for souls. Now, very fast, about this is now about the warning, okay, that they gave us about the starseeds, to the starseeds. Very fast. There is a lot of talk in the media about the UFO disclosures, this and that, official UFO disclosures, and just like it happened with we know what in the last 2 years, only the official narrative was allowed, and everything else that was coming from alternative sides was censored. So they're just warning us a little bit here that it's possibility. It's not that it will happen. It could happen that one of the dangers of the official disclosures is that it will be another way to silence the starseeds and their stories, because only the official stories will be allowed, and only those will be imposed upon the people. And if you are claiming you are extraterrestrial, you have your own extraterrestrial explanation, it could be censored for the protection of the society, just like it was in the last 2 years. For the protection of the society, no medical disinformation was allowed anywhere. So that's just what could happen. That's what they told us. Now, my final words, or do I leave my final words at the end?
You can share them now if you want, and share some more later.
Okay. So my final words here, know that being a starseed is mostly an alone path in the end, even though you may feel you are surrounded by like-minded people, and that's great. But in the end, in the center of your being, it's an alone path. And it's actually an alone path everywhere, even outside Earth, because no two souls hold the same point of attention. No two souls are living in the same reality, but especially here. On the other hand, you're never alone, because you always, and this goes back to the beginning of the presentation, because you always have your support, your guides, which are expanded version of yourself, nothing else. It's not outside of you. It's not something exterior to yourself. And also you have your stellar family, air support, as they call it. So be that higher self, embody that higher self. Learn also to keep some things to yourself. You have to understand and accept that not everybody is on the same level, and you will not always be understood. So always offer. It's kind of like, it's our philosophy. We just want to offer, but we don't want to impose any of this information or points of view. It will be a match to whoever is attracted to that information. So offer, don't impose, love everybody for who they are. And very important, don't expect any immediate results from anything, even from your starseed job here. Do not look into the society, look if it's changing already. Am I doing a good job? Well, don't expect any immediate result. Like learn to detach from the immediate results and from results at all. And it will give you peace of mind. This is how I feel I am now more. In the beginning, I wanted more of the results, the liberation from the matrix. I was in that state of mind. Now I'm just like, listen, I'm just sharing, and I am truly detached from the results, even to the point of it perhaps looking like I don't care. But it's not that. It's just that there's a part of me from the expanded point of view where I do truly see all this as just a duality games working themselves out and us playing a role here. And in the end, it's all okay. So I'm detached from the immediate results. And don't take life so seriously, because like I said, from the other side, the interpretation of events is different. The souls do not take their lives that just had so seriously. Be the best version of yourself. Be those higher realms that you want to connect with. You are those higher realms. Do not conform to the matrix and have fun. Have fun. Remember that only the strongest come here to Earth, the strongest elites, as they call them, and you are that elite. So wipe your noses and keep going. As Mari said, you got this. This is how she ended one of her videos. You got this, starseeds, beautiful starseeds out there. Thank you, Mari, by the way, and thank you also, my other friends, for being the force behind this information, because a lot of the points I went through are based on their information, and especially on Mari's Varu's information.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Gosia. That was amazing. And we have tons of questions for you. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through all of them, but we do still have 30 minutes, so we will just start asking. Okay, the first one was, if Mari can do the teleportation like Sophia does with the absence of any technical devices, but realizing it with only mind, can she go back to her original timeline and to her mother by just doing it?
This is for the people who know the story. I'm not sure, Sheila, you know how much you know about this story.
I've been listening and watching, yes, so I'm pretty familiar.
Okay, so Mari has been sort of lost in timelines. It's a long story why. I'm not going to go into that, but basically, I don't think it's that easy to do. Now, why it's not that easy, I am not sure, but I know that she would do that if it was possible to do that. But we haven't heard of her doing that and encountering her original timeline in mind. I truly don't think it's that easy. In the mind, in the astral, it's like they told us it's like a blender of everything. Everything, your thoughts, your own manifestations, your own desires, your thoughts from the daily life, and then the astral world that is there physically, really like a copy of this world. A lot of things are happening and generated. Then there are parallel realities. Everything is there, meshed together in the astral, in that mental field. So I don't think it's that easy. Yes, I don't think she has done it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have another one. It says, if you're a walk-in that came in a few years ago, for example, can that correlate to when you started to have a shift in your own personality, having your awakening with strong pushes to relative topics or to relate topics?
Okay. Can you just read the first part of the question, the first sentence?
Yes. If you are a walk-in that came in a few years ago, for example, can that correlate to when you started to have a shift in your personality?
Yes, of course. That's the indication of your walking experience. For example, one of the close people to me, he had, that's why we are thinking he's a walking too. He had a total change of interests. Also, he had a certain animal, and he gave that animal away after they were birds, and he gave those birds away after like 10 years, and suddenly he just didn't want them anymore. So all these different changes and shifts, yes, they could be an indication. However, if you haven't experienced any shifts, in my case, I haven't experienced any shift like that, it doesn't mean that you are not a walking. It could have been very gradual.
Thank you. Do any extraterrestrials believe in a supreme being?
They refer to it simply as source. So they do not have the concept of God. This is something theological and constructed on Earth, basically for humans, for the control manipulation agendas. Even though there could be some sort of a reality there with which you can connect and transcend into something universal, but it's basically source. I don't like to call it God because it has very, very religious connotations, and it's something like outside of yourself that you have to pray to. So there's nothing exterior to yourself to which you are praying. It's just you are realizing you are that yourself. So you are bringing that power and manifesting that power from within yourself, source.
Beautiful. Thank you. Another question is, hello from London, Gosia. As a walk-in through immersion, do you retain the memories of the Gosia who was here before? Are they integrated with your own memories, or do you recall them separately? Additionally, do you have knowledge of when your personality underwent the walk-in process?
I do not have that knowledge of when that process happened. However, I do have the memories. Of course, I do have memories of Gosia. It's all integrated. I would say yes and no. I have them integrated as part of me, part of my being right now, but I also do feel them as separate. But it's a very, very, very strange feeling, especially when I go to Poland, because I'm from Poland and I visit my family there, my mom, and I go there. And I've had this feeling a very long time, even before they told me officially that I was in immersion. That's why it made sense to me. When I go there, I feel as if I am operating there through the memory that I downloaded from somewhere, but it's not like totally my memory. So I recognize the people, I recognize the feelings, but it's not totally where it's not totally mine. It's fused to the certain point. It's kind of like when you download something and insert into yourself, but on some deep level, you know you did that. So I do feel integrated. I do not reject that. For example, Yaski once said, because there is no way to dissociate from that. Really, when you are walking into the immersion, through the immersion, or if you are walking in general, you are basically becoming that person. You are becoming everything that person was, with its traumas, confusions, ideas. Of course, you can override, and you do, with your new values and perspectives. Actually, that's why you chose that avatar and that person, because there was a match in values and perspectives. It could have been totally separate, totally different. There was a match in common ground. But you basically integrate and you enrich your soul. This is how your souls grow. Yes, he said, do not reject Gosia, do not reject that, because it's expanding you through her perspectives. So your soul grew because of that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, I want to pop over. There was a comment or a question in the chat that I want to share, and then I'll go back to the Q&A. It said, I read that the reincarnation wheel was hacked by reptilians. It means you die and you reincarnate back on Earth. Because of these hackings, they will show you what you have done, and you will consciously or unconsciously want to go back and do it again. Karma. Why do you escape this hacked or how do you escape this hacked reincarnation wheel?
Knowing that there is none. knowing that this is just a control manipulation. They are trying to make you believe that this is what you have to do, but you don't have to. There is no punishment, and there is no one on the other side, no demon with pitchforks, and no archon sitting there somewhere on the cloud, making you physically, forcing you to go back. This is how they explain this to us. This is all up to you. Yes, there could be some sort of entities trying to mind control you, manipulate you to believe that you must go back, and they use your own beliefs. So if you believe in karma, if you believe in sin, if you believe that you did something wrong, they can read that and they can lead to that and use that against you, because they know you'll choose what they want you to choose because of your own beliefs. That's why it's very important to reprogram those beliefs and set yourself free. Know that you are the ultimate creator and powerful being to choose your path, where you want to be. If you don't want to be on Earth, well, then you don't want to be on Earth. However, and what I mentioned before, that when you are in the afterlife, and this is like aside the manipulations and all that and reptilian hacks, your own soul might have a different idea for itself, because the interpretation of what you just went through changes. So you may want to go back because the soul on that spiritual level has a different idea for its future incarnation.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. A couple of these are related to the programming that you do. So I'm going to ask a couple generic and then I'm going to jump back. Yeah. It says, why is there also prime directive in the lower astral realm? I get frustrated how my galactic family needs to put up an illusion over themselves when I go there. Thank you.
I'm not sure I fully know how to answer this because I'm not aware of the prime directive being present in the astral realms. I don't know what this is referring to. I know the prime directive is real, and it is something that all the Federation races are recommended to abide by, but I don't know if there is any prime directive in the astral realm. So I'm sorry, I cannot contribute more to this answer. I will have to ask someone.
Thanks. So mentioning the Federation, there's a couple related to the Federation. First off, what's going to happen to the Federation when the movement grows through the galaxy that the Federation has been manipulating galactic history, presumably with the intention of seeding various narratives?
There's going to be a lot of revolutionary transformative processes going on the Federation levels. I'm sure of that. I don't know what's going to happen because I cannot predict the future, and it could be many different things happening. But this revolution in the Federation levels among the races has been going on for some time already. And there is a lot of influence from the higher densities Federation levels, because the Federation extends into the higher densities. And where it will all go, we truly do not know. So whatever is happening on Earth, there are a lot of interesting things happening also up there. There is a matrix up there as well, to which many ET races are waking up to. And see where it all goes. It's all in the air. No one knows, not even them.
Thank you. Okay, dear Gosia, would you please share with us your knowledge regarding the starseeds' higher self and their mission in other dimensions? Many thanks.
Their mission in other dimensions? In higher densities?
Yes, I think that's what they're referring to, an aspect incarnating here, but also having other aspects out. I'll read it one more time. Would you please share with us your knowledge regarding a starseed's higher self and their mission in other dimensions?
This is a very interesting question, and I will have to think about it a little bit more. All I know is that Yaski told us not to make too much separation between your higher self and yourself. So you are your higher self right now. Embody that higher self. So whatever mission your higher self is on for itself, it is on it right now through you. However, your higher self operates more than just one you. So here, your higher self is on a mission to integrate and learn and do a lot of things at the same time. And we can only be guessing what that goal, higher goal, could be. Everyone will be different here as well, so you have to listen to yourself. I don't know, for example, in my case, I feel that my higher self goal, but you see, it's very self-imposed as well in a way. I feel that a lot of higher self goals are like, where are they coming from, those goals? Why is higher self-imposing goals onto itself? But its goal is to learn to break through the duality roles that on some other lower level, my higher self imposes still upon itself to fulfill through my job, for example. But on the higher level, my agenda is to actually learn to transcend that while doing it at the same time. And in a way, I have transcended it. That's why I feel peaceful. That's why I feel detached from the result. Because part of me, of that higher self agenda, is somewhere still beyond. Now, it's hard to explain this, actually, because I'm trying to spontaneously channel that answer from my higher self as we speak. I will have to think about it a bit more. Yaski would be great to answer this question as well. I should be writing all these questions down. Maybe I will. Okay, so the first question was that I didn't know was, is there a prime directive in the astral? And then what's the higher self agenda? In the high densities, not here, in the high densities. Okay, I'll try to remember.
Cool. Okay, I have another question pertaining to the soul. I know that we are all just one soul, but we have higher selves, we have dimensional selves, we have astral selves. How many different selves are we? That's a great one.
It all depends what perspective and what platform you'll be looking from. From the highest perspective, there is only one. There is no separate selves and multiple universes and densities and dimensions. Yaski always explained this to us in a way that there's just one. It's all just one. It's just the perception ranges, supposed limitations that make you feel like you are separate from another. So it gives you the illusion that there is another self, that there is an astral self, higher self, just because your perception sort of is locked within a narrow bandwidth of perception of itself. And that creates the illusion that it's divided. But it's not. It's all one self. And the more we expand and the more we grow spiritually and integrate that, then we start to realize more and more we truly are one self. And then more and more, as this grows, we are all just one person in the universe. There's no one else. But that one person that we are in the universe must have the illusion of being fragmented people for the experience. So metaphysically speaking, there is just one of you. If you want to categorize it, because the humans always want to divide everything, that's a very human tendency, then there will be multiples.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, we have quite a few. Let's see. Okay, this one is interesting. It says, what advice would you give starseeds wanting to share their message on social media?
Oh, well, just do it. Depending what is stopping you. So I don't know the personal situation of the person who is asking the question, so I cannot interfere there and cause conflict if it's difficult because of the family situation or something. But basically, just do it. There is nothing stopping you. What's there stopping you from? Maybe that's the question for the person. What do you feel that is stopping you from sharing your message on the social media?
Great. And then
okay, just one more thing that came to me.
Yes.
Perhaps they want to they feel like for example, if they have a lot of friends and they are not ready to come out and they still want to share their thoughts, but they don't want to do it in front of their people and family and friends that they know, because maybe they're still ashamed of that. Well, I don't know, create a separate account with a different name, a different photo, or whatever. It's still you, your presence will still be there, felt by many, but you'll be more anonymous. So if you're not ready to come out, just do it anonymously. Many people do that. Many people do that because they still want to protect their personal life. And this is what I was talking about earlier, that many starseeds are forced, in a way, to lead that double life. But find the outlet to share, because that's what you are here. That's what you are here for, to share to share yourself. It doesn't have to be with your own name. Do it anonymously. You can create a YouTube channel and make anonymous videos without your face, just the voice, or some kind of robotic voice or whatever. But share. If you feel you have something to share, that's why you ask the question, then share.
Beautiful. Once everyone accepts that there are actually extraterrestrials everywhere and that we are extraterrestrials, will they be able to land their ships here?
We are a very long way before everybody accepts that they are here, I believe. And before that happens, before even that they are here, all kinds of agendas will be thrown into the society of why they are here, of who they are. So it's not just about them being here, but what is injected there into the minds of the people of why they are here and who they are. So if the cabal doesn't get removed, they will be the ones throwing into the people's minds the ideas and their theories about who they are and what they are. So it will also depend on that. I don't know what the ETs out there have in mind, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. But I also know that things change there, here and there, and I can never know for sure. However, I don't see it in any super near future.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, earlier you said that you have integrated the memories and the experiences of the other Gosia who left. My question is, could the other Gosia be right now integrating the experiences that you are having now?
Another interesting question. I am not sure, because I feel like I have been using her vehicle and her information and her data. She's not using mine. Although on some level there is a match and there could be some kind of a soul exchange on an unconscious level. Maybe she's curious about how I'm doing. So maybe we talk in the astral and maybe we exchange ideas. I'm not sure. Maybe she's integrating that on that level. But like logically speaking, I'm using this vehicle. She's not using mine. My avatar, I mean, my physical being is in a capsule, so it's sleeping there. So she's not using that to download any information coming from my extraterrestrial person. But on a soul level, who knows?
Right. Okay, let's go through.
And it would be really interesting, though. I was thinking about it as well. Imagine that Gosia, who has left, I'm imagining that she left. Maybe there was no one there. Maybe there was an organic portal. Who knows? I don't think I was, though, because I was very curious about things. I was a thinking person. So imagine now she left, but what if she incarnates somewhere? And what if I meet her? What if I meet Gosia in a new incarnation? That would be interesting. There's all kinds of varieties and variables here. You're constantly meeting your future, past variant selves. We just don't know it. That's why also the veil of forgetfulness protects from some of that madness.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's interesting because someone also asked, is the veil of forgetfulness only for people on Earth, or do we have it on other planets as well, or do we choose it, or does it really even matter?
Okay, very good. All very, very, very good questions. On Earth, the veil of forgetfulness is stronger because the the mismatch of frequency is stronger because the general overall dominant frequency of this planet is quite low, even though it's not the limitation, it's not the obstacle. You can be of any frequency you want, you create that for yourself, but generally it's lower. So that's what creates this frequency mismatch and a veil of forgetfulness. They don't have it. So they usually remember their 3 past lives, generally. But now going into another question, do they choose it? Yes, on a soul level, you do choose it. So sometimes you may choose not to remember anything at all. Aneka, for example, she was one of the girls we talked to. She did not remember her past life, and she was an extraterrestrial. So it happens, it's decided on the astral level. And does it really matter? It's up to you. If you feel it matters, if it doesn't, then it doesn't. In a way, in a sense, this could be a whole topic in itself. Does it matter or it doesn't matter? Okay, it does matter and it doesn't at the same time. I'm going to leave it in that enigmatic sense. I could explain more, but we don't have time.
I have another question. Can a starseed walk into an AI soul or matrix human body? Must she replace the real soul's body? And if so, does that soul experience a death in their memories or an exit of some kind as you enter as a walk-in?
I don't think it experiences as a death because it wasn't death. It didn't die, the body didn't die, so we didn't have to go through that death experience as it is understood. So I think it just experienced and remembers it as exit. However, again, it's another question I will have to ask them if they ever talked to extraterrestrial people who remember exiting being a human being on Earth, and how do they remember that? If it's an immersion, they would just wake up in the pod and they would remember that as kind of a parallel or past life. That's how it would feel to them, more distant, more distant to them as a memory, but a distant memory. Now, if they exit and go to the astral, to the source, and then they reincarnate as an extraterrestrial person, they would definitely just remember the past life. And the first part of the question, can they go into the AI soul? If you mean by that the matrix person, I'm not sure if you mean AI soul or a matrix person. Yes, it happens all the time. You can walk into the matrix organic portal, empty person with no soul at all. I'm not sure if that's what it is, AI or matrix person, if it's the same. Oh, sorry, my voice is like I'm losing my voice a little bit. I'm not used to talking so much.
Okay. Gosia, we have just one more question that we're going to be able to take. And then if you have any final comments, it says, can you communicate with other ETs telepathically? Since you said that you are an ET yourself, are you in contact with other ETs from your race?
No, I feel that I am totally, my settings, I don't know if from the immersion pod or from the soul level, I am not very aware. My settings are very low on that. So we are all capable of telepathic communication. Of course we are, but for some reason I feel I'm not in touch with anybody telepathically, only on the unconscious level. Sometimes I would feel Yaski, for example, her thoughts coming over me, and I feel like she's fusing her clarity on certain subjects with mine. But that's the extent of it. I'm not aware consciously of any telepathic communication with them, like consciously conversation, or with any other race.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate all the time that you've shared with us today. And I would like to say, you know, for everybody that's watching, Gosia will be coming back with us in November. And so we'll have an opportunity to talk more about, you know, the walk-ins, questions that you're bringing up. So thank you guys so much for that. And right now, what I'd like to do, Gosia, if you have any final comments that you would like to share, I would really appreciate you doing so.
Well, I shared my final comments in my presentation. That's what I had there. And all I can just think of as all the star seeds up there, wipe your boogers, keep going, keep your frequency high. Like I said, keep the frequency, and don't let hell take it away from you. This is my quote that I just came up with a few days ago, and I like it very much. And stop whining and make it a great life, okay, for yourself. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you very much, everybody.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Gosia. I really appreciate it. Okay.